Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Honorable ulama, respected guests, future legends of Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This Deen of Islam values people who come out first in the race to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about this in the Quran Kareem, Surah Yunus, Ayah 100, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان. That those first Muhajirin and Ansar and those who followed them in excellence, what is their status in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allah is pleased with them and He is pleased and they are pleased with Him. And what will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give those who have come out first? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَعَدَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي تَحْتَهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them gardens in Jannah under which rivers flow, that they will stay in forever. And what kind of victory, what kind of success is this? ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. This is the ultimate victory. This is the ultimate success for those who come out first in the race to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in this particular ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about those Sahaba who have come out first. But in every time, right until our present time, we all can run this race to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all of us who win this race can also be counted amongst those who are in the forefront and those who will be first and those who will be winners. So in every time, my beloved legends of Islam, in every time we have certain people in different times, in different places who have run this race and have come out first. In our own country, in South Africa, we have had people who have run this race and have come out first. First, to bring Islam to South Africa. First, to establish Islam in South Africa. We go all the way back to the year 1694. 1694. And I want to tell you a short story in these few minutes of 1694, when the first Muslim, or one of the first and most prominent Muslims, comes to Cape Town. The first Muslim in South Africa. Anybody of you know his name? I'm talking about Tuan Guru, but that's not the answer. Someone else? His name is Sheikh Yusuf of Makassar. He comes with Islam in 1694. And thereafter, in the year 1780, we have another of the first, another of them who have won the race. And his name was Tuan Guru. So there were lots of Muslims around there, but they didn't have a community, they didn't have a masjid. And he was the one who brought them all together and established Islam at that moment in time. Who exactly was Tuan Guru? When you hear this name, it might sound like a bit foreign, Tuan Guru. But I can assure you that each and every one of you know the meaning of at least one part of this name, and that is Guru. You know, you say a person is a tech guru, a person is a fitness guru, a person is an electronic guru, a maths guru. So it means a person who's a teacher, a person who's an expert. So in that language, Tuan Guru, Tuan means master, mister, respect. So respected teacher, that's actually his title. But his name is Abdullah. His name is Abdullah ibn Qadi Abdus Salam. Now, he had a very good life where he came from. He came from Indonesia. And he was almost like a prince. His father was the leader. He, learned Islam, became a hafiz at an early age. After that, Tuan Guru went to madrasa, became an alim. He became the imam of the local masjid. So it looked like everything was set for him to become this great person in Tidor, in this place where he lived. And then all of a sudden, things changed for him. The Dutch, the Europeans who were in control of Indonesia at that time, he spoke out against them. He saw that they were doing injustice and he spoke out against them. And then what happened? I want you to all imagine you sitting here today, whether you're from Klerksdorp or whether you're from Johannesburg or wherever you are from, Wheeler's Farm, and somebody comes here today and picks you up with a drone. I want to make it more modern. I don't want to say a ship. So somebody picks you up here with a drone and flies you all over to the Amazon jungle and drops you off there. Even if there might be some people there, can you imagine how are you going to start off life there? How are you going to feel? No family, no food that you know, no, wonder why pizza's over there, nothing of that sort. You are going to be totally sad, and the feeling in your heart will be, why did I even have to come here? Maybe it's better if I die, if I pass away. This is not the life for me. That's exactly what they did with Tuan Guru. They took him from Indonesia, 11,799 kilometers, put him on a ship, not to just put him in any prison, but they brought him all the way to Cape Town. Now, to my MC, I'm not saying Cape Town is a bad place. Cape Town is a really beautiful place, and we all need to go to Cape Town, might need to go to Cape Town for holiday because the beaches in Durban are not looking good. But when he comes to Cape Town, they don't only put him in Cape Town, but they put him on Robben Island. And when he comes to Robben Island, look at the two worlds, right? On the one hand, when he's in Indonesia, you have Indonesia, exotic beaches, beautiful trees with fruit, and coral reefs, extremely beautiful, spices, fruit. And here they bring him to Robben Island, icy, cold, wintry, windy, and there's just a graveyard there, certain sick people there, and there's snakes running around on that particular island. Can you imagine how he feels? He was sad. He was sad. And he writes in his letters, I was like gharibun fi biladil kuffar. I was like a stranger put forcefully in this land of the kuffar. What happens? He could have just got sad and got rid of the rest of his life. But what he does is, as one of the people wrote, he left his own fear. He just suppressed his own fear. And with that, he made all the other people feel strong. And what happens at Robben Island then is he starts writing the Quran from memory. Not one copy of the Quran, but 5 complete copies of the Quran from memory. He writes while he is in Robben Island or while he is in Cape Town, the wider stay in Cape Town. 5 copies of the Quran, totally from memory. He didn't bring any books with him. He didn't bring any ink and paper. He made a plan. And thereafter he wrote a 600-page book on Islamic beliefs, like a textbook, on what is our aqidah, what is certain ahadith, what is certain du'as to recite. 600 pages in memory while he was living on Robben Island. Long story short, after this, eventually they release him from Robben Island, but there's no life for him anymore to go back to, for instance, Indonesia. He's here in Cape Town for life. So what he does is he comes to Cape Town and he finds there's Muslims there, there's slaves who have come, a good number of slaves, but they don't have any leader. They don't have any ulama. How are they going to progress? How are they going to know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from them? So what does he do? First thing he does is he sets up a madrasa. And this is why we started off by saying the people who are in the front line, the people who are first. So Tuan Guru, he sets up the first madrasa in South Africa. What does he do after that? He sees that people are not reading Jummah. So what does Tuan Guru do? He then gathers the people for the first Jummah. Islam is banned. The Dutch say you cannot practice Islam in public in Cape Town in South Africa. Islam is not allowed in this country. But he defies them and he goes to an open place and he reads the first Jummah in South Africa. And thereafter he says we cannot be reading outdoors forever. And what he does is he takes this madrasa, which was a warehouse, and he makes it into the first masjid in South Africa, which is known, if you go to Cape Town, make a point of visiting it, the Oval Masjid in Dorp Street in Cape Town. So this is a man of firsts. First madrasa, first Jumu'ah, first masjid in South Africa. I want to leave you with these 3 important lessons. Number 1, we have lots of information around us. There's lots of technology, everything, all the books, all the knowledge is in front of us on the internet and on our phones. But let us not be deceived. Many of us are huffaz. How many of us are huffaz there? Let's lift up our hands. MashaAllah, all of you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken you from strength to strength. I ask myself and I ask you, how many of us are true huffaz? That if Allah forbid something happens, we are able to read the entire Quran from beginning to end. We are able to write the entire Quran from beginning to end. So let us become thorough and strong and excellent in what we do. Second lesson, these people had made great sacrifices for Islam. If you go to Cape Town, you hear about the slaves. They used to practice Islam. Muslim names were taken away. They had to walk bare feet. They were tortured. Some of them had to be put on something called a wheel, and they would drop the wheel on them and forcefully break one bone at a time from their bodies. This was the sacrifice that they made from Islam, which we bring ourselves to the final lesson. Tuan Guru, Sheikh Yusuf, the Sahaba, everybody before us, and particularly in South Africa, everybody who came before us, they planted a seed. And this is the seed of Islam. They planted the tree of Islam. And every generation, this tree grew bigger. And this tree grew more beautiful. Until this moment in time when we have this beautiful tree of Islam in front of us in South Africa. They lived through all of these difficulties and they won and they succeeded. It is up to us in our time to go through these difficulties, whatever difficulties we go through, and to win this particular battle. Because we don't want it to be that in the Akhirah, one day Tuan Guru comes and knocks on our door, and Tuan Guru says, I built up this beautiful tree of Islam in South Africa. What did you do with it? The branches broke. The tree almost died because of your actions, because of forgetting the path of Allah, because of not behaving correctly, because of committing sins. We would not want that to happen. And therefore, let us continue growing this tree of Islam in South Africa and taking it forward to the next generations. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of those who were in the first line before and make us amongst the legends and those who are in the first line going forward. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.